Yo, what's up, guys? I wanted to make a quick video about Kewl clip and how many of clip you should play in your Kewl deck. And I've seen a lot of debate online. Some people say you should play one, just as a end board piece. You add it to your hand uh, through combo, and then it's just there for like to chain for Zalin, or just to few synchro off to make an RS on your opponent's turn. So people only play one, and some people have been playing two or three, but usually it's one. And in my opinion, just copying what you see online is completely incorrect. And it just shows people don't really know how to use clip properly and what it actually does for the deck. Um, and I just wanted to give my own thoughts and opinions about clip and how many you should play. And it boils down to how you build your deck. So if you play the side frames, um, you can play more than one clip, and this is what people don't seem to understand. It's also is a lack of playing with the deck and understanding how the deck functions. But if you play Qtune, you'll realize that Qtune, if before Rotary came out, uh, before Rotary was a card, Qtune had a normal summon issue because you'd have multiple names in hand, but you'd have no way to use them all. Obviously, with Road to Rotary out, you get an additional normal summon. You have a normal summon through Rotary, one through JJ Qtune, and one your own odd normal summon. You have three normal summons. But what Clip does, and what people don't understand, is Clip can fix your normal summon issue when you go second. And I'll show you a combo later on what Clip does for the deck and how it fixes the issue. But this is the whole essence of Clip. When going second, Clip can fix the normal summon issue and is better facilitated with level 2s in your deck. So if you have more level 2 tuners, Clip becomes a way better turn 0 hand trap. And the argument I've seen the most that people point out about a Clip is that, oh, you have to discard two cards to then have an interruption, and you're going neg one and this another. But what they don't understand is if they don't use Clip, or they don't use Clip correctly in those game states where you have too many normal summons, you're probably gonna lose that game anyways, cause the deck cannot go second. It struggles going second. That's why it plays 18, 20, 22 hand traps, because it simply cannot break boards. It cannot break any half board. It cannot play through a half board. It needs to completely. It needs to make sure your opponent doesn't have a board. That's why it plays so many hand traps. And what Clip does, it helps you to fix the issue when you open a lot of normal summons. And I'm gonna show a combo of how Clip can help you. So here is one of the more typical hands you see with Kewl. So let's say you've lost a die roll and your opponent's going first, and you have two hand traps and two normal summons and Clip. So obviously you will see Clip way more if it's at 3 compared to when it's at 1. So this is a more likely hand when you play 3 Clip, and I'm currently playing 3 Clip in this build. And just to show you, so let's say you've used a hand trap or two. You've used a hand trap, and you've done this, and then you've sent something to the grave, like this. And at this point, your opponent has like 1 to 2 interruptions, and you 1 to 2 interruptions on the field, and they've like set 1 or set 2. It could be an imperm, a drop play, a crown, or maybe just in engine through whatever interruptions. This is what Clip can do for you, and one of the better uses of Clip. So let's say our mix has no value here. It's not popping anything good. It completely has no value in this game. Say we're against Dracotail, for example. Dracotail is a very good example. So we're against Dracotail, and the monsters on the field is like completely useless. They don't do anything. So here, so mix is getting like 0 value. We can go like Clip. So we go end of main. We go Clip, Clip effect to fuse, synchro. we use this and mix to make track maker. So then we can go chain link 1 track maker, chain link 2 clip, and clip can banish one from the extra deck. And what people don't understand is, and then track maker can add, but what people don't understand is how to use clip properly. Is like, why would you use track maker to go neg 1, and what would be the reason behind that? So the reason behind using clip and making a track maker isn't because we want to go neg 1 and we want to pop something. And, no, it's because we want to threaten something really early. And the best way to do that is by having a body on the field without committing your normal summon. And clip is one of the few ways which you can do that. So let's say we've added track maker here, and TrackMate is gonna add. Usually people are gonna go for like Kewl Synchro, or some kind of rotary, for example, or something. But let's say you have a bunch of normal summons or already extension and ways to play in hand. What you would add here is you would add Rico. You would add Rico to hand. Now all of a sudden, when it goes to the end phase and it comes back to your turn, your opponent has to deal with the track maker on the field. If your opponent cannot deal with the track maker before main phase 1, the first action you can do is use these two to make a Zalin. All of a sudden, you're getting a non-target bounce and a targeting spell trap pop. And now you have what you have done. You've forced out two pieces of interaction which are protected by Zalin on the field, because Zalin can then negate anything, because we're past chain link to 1 at this point, so Zalin can negate whatever he wants. And let's say if they don't have anything to chain, or something that's just not good to chain, now our Q is protected, because when you go normal summon Q and they go Impem, Ash, Veiler, Zalin can then negate it if it's not been used already. So this is one of the ways to properly use clip as a hand trap, and people just don't understand what clip means for the deck, or what clip actually does for the deck. Obviously, clip isn't always good, but what it does is it just helps the normal summon issue of the deck, and that's the whole reason the card was designed. Is sometimes you'll see a lot of normal summons and you just won't have a way to play the game. So it's like a good player will know when to use the clip and when not to use the clip. And a good player will know if they want to design the whole deck around, like not the whole deck, but like the deck around clip, and to not design the deck around clip. And that's when you have to make your own decisions about the deck and how you want the deck to function. In my opinion, we're in a very testing phase and people are experimenting, but I just wouldn't disregard the power clip just because a few people said, "Oh, clip is bad. It doesn't do anything. You go neg 2." No, you have to come to your own decisions. Don't let people make the decisions for you. Come to your own decisions about a card and see how it fits well into your deck. And that's how I've seen the card. And in my opinion, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I would definitely play at 2. I wouldn't play at 1, but I would play at 2, because it's not the worst thing to draw. And sometimes having a turn 1 RS is kind of annoying for your opponent to deal with. So yeah, that's my whole opinion about clip. But yeah, I hope it helped. And yeah, have a good one.